Hello everyone, this is Eric Jones. Welcome to the Utility Vehicle Safety Lecture. This is a short and sweet lecture just on the safe use of any type of utility vehicles that you may use in the horticulture business. As you can see in the top left there is the John Deere Gator, very similar to the one we have at the college, and most of you are already familiar with it. We also have a mule and a golf cart, and each one of these vehicles is used quite extensively in the horticulture and landscape business, and especially on large nurseries, greenhouses. They'll be using some type of utility vehicle, moving employees back and forth, moving products back and forth. So they're very, very beneficial to the horticulture industry. Know your vehicle. Always read the owner's manual for the vehicle that you'll be operating. As you can see on Blackboard, I already have links to the John Deere website, so I would recommend going ahead and getting familiar with the John Deere that we have. There's also a link to the product manual on Blackboard, so definitely get yourself familiar with that. And there's some good diagrams here on the where the lights are located, the park and brake, the accelerator pedal. So all of that, some good diagrams that we'll see here in a second. And guys, always remember that these are off-highway utility vehicles, which will handle and maneuver differently from a passenger car. And most of you have already driven it, as of now, driven the Gator that we have on campus. So you're familiar with that. And I would definitely not take our Gator out onto Silas Creek or, possibly even Miller Street or the road that cuts in front of the Strickland Center off of Miller Street, because it's very, very highly used. If we were to take the Gator over there, I would much rather it be, while classes are in session, not at the 10 minutes of the hour when most classes are ending. It would definitely be in a time frame where most students are in class and there's less vehicular traffic on those two main roads. But we will use the Gator very extensively around our area, around the Strickland Center, back and forth to the mulch pile, back and forth, emptying debris that we've pruned and dug up plant materials on campus. The vehicles are not intended, again, for use on the highways or public roads, unless the vehicle is equipped with proper lighting, mirrors, and other travel features. We do have the lighted beacon that sits above the passenger side seat to the rear of it that flashes yellow, and we do have headlights, backlights. So our Gator is highly visible, but still not visible enough that I would want to take it out on the main road. And do not operate the vehicle on a road where the vehicle may be a hazard for fast-moving traffic. And we've all seen students that drive pretty fast through campus. Do not misuse the vehicle or our Gator. It is a utility vehicle, not a recreation vehicle. Horseplay can lead to accidents, severe bodily injury, or even death. I've lost a couple good friends on four-wheelers. So, and one was an older gentleman, about the age of my father. So, they can be very, very deadly and very serious. So always use extreme caution when we're driving the Gator. I like, for two students to be on the Gator, it's always good to have that second pair of eyes, because what's even worse is we have to watch out for other people because we're less likely to be seen. It's just kind of like riding a motorcycle. You need to watch traffic more so than if you were in your personal vehicle, just because it's a little hard to see that Gator. And when you are traveling around the Strickland Center, make sure that you do have the beacon light going and the headlights turned on for it. Familiarize yourself with the vehicle. Know how to start the engine. We've already done that. Know how to set and release the parking brake. Anytime you get off of the Gator, make sure that you pull up the emergency brake. Know the location of the controls and how and what they operate. This is a good diagram. This is also on the link that is on Blackboard to the John Deere website. Do a complete walk around or a safety check every time you use the Gator. You want to check the fuel level. We'll look in class again on checking the oil, checking the tires, making sure everything is functioning properly. Just do a good walk around. Check the brake action before beginning the vehicle. Have the brakes adjusted or serviced if necessary. And be sure hardware is tight. Have damaged, badly worn, or missing parts repaired or replaced. And be sure the guards and shields are in good condition and fastened in place, and make any necessary adjustments before operating. And basically here, the main thing with us would be the fuel level, oil level, and checking the tire pressure. Riders can fall off and be seriously killed or injured. And like I said, I've lost a couple of friends to this. Both were on four-wheelers, but, the Gator can be just as dangerous. Make sure there's only one person to a seat, and that seating is provided for the operator and one passenger only. No rider is to be in the back of the dump bed, or what they're calling the cargo box. Riders on the vehicle are subject to injuries such as being struck by foreign objects or being thrown off of the vehicle and severely injured or killed. Riders affect the operator's ability to control the vehicle as well as its center of gravity. Also, riders could obstruct the operator's view, resulting in the vehicle being operated in an unsafe manner. Now, I look at the second student riding the Gator as the second set of eyes. You are to watch as if you were driving yourself. No one is to be using cell phones when they're operating the Gator. You're to remain seated. You're to drive. And in any situation where vehicular traffic is coming, it's better just to go ahead and pull off or pull to the side and let the vehicles go ahead and pass you in a safe manner. And again, make sure that no riders are in the cargo box. Sharp or high-speed turns abrupt the maneuvers and call these vehicles to roll. I've seen it happen, guys. So be careful when you are making a turn. Go ahead and apply pressure to the brake and slow the vehicle down. Always use both hands for steering. I have had students ask me, do they have to do this? And yes, you need to keep both hands on the steering. If you're in the passenger, I would also recommend holding on to the safety bar directly in front of you and keeping your eyes out, helping the driver look for oncoming traffic. Drive very slow when turning. Slow down before entering the turn, and then maintain an even speed through the turn. Make sure you reduce your speed and exercise extreme caution when you're on a slope or rough ground. And the only time this will happen for us is, we may get off onto some turf areas where we may be pruning shrubs or actually applying mulch. Do not overload the vehicle and avoid shifting the loads. Reduce the load when operating over rough or hilly terrain. And like I said, the only thing we'll probably be using is mulch. We may haul some brick, but we're not going to haul a pallet of it. We're going to make sure that the load is light and that we're not going to overload it. But, we're going to be hauling leaf mulch, pine needles, hardwood mulch, things of that nature. So it's going to be kind of hard for us to overload it. Do not stop or start suddenly when going uphill or downhill. Be especially cautious when changing directions on the slope. Stay alert for holes, rocks, and other hidden hazards in the terrain. And then keep the front wheel straight at crest of hill or going over the bumps. And when descending a hill, remove your foot from the accelerator and apply brakes to reduce the speed and maintain control. when parking the vehicle, stop the vehicle on a level surface, not a slope. We always park it in our garage there on campus, so it's a good flat area. Lock the park brake, stop the engine, and remove the key. And before you leave the operator's seat, wait for the engine and all moving parts to stop. And just like when we practice drive and take turns, I want each and every one of you, when you stop the vehicle, is to, turn the engine off, have the emergency brake on, pull the key off, and then give it to the next student. Never operate the utility vehicle while standing, and never operate the utility vehicle with the cargo box raised. To provide adequate braking ability and traction, do not tow any attachment or loaded trailer unless the vehicle cargo box is fully loaded. So basically they're wanting to make sure that the weight's distributed. Make sure you've got weight in the cargo box if you are pulling the trailer. We do pull a trailer with ours, we'd want to make sure that we've got even weight distribution over both. Never leave the vehicle unattended when it is running, and avoid sudden starts or stops or turns. And be careful when starting the vehicle to not damage the starter. If the vehicle's already cranked, don't turn the ignition again, because that can damage the vehicle. Always use a level turnaround area. Never turn around on the slope. Be alert at all times. Drive forward and in reverse carefully. People can move quickly into an area of operation. Back up very carefully. Look behind the vehicle before backing up. And we almost need to initiate ground guides. Is having another pair of eyes in front of the vehicle and one vehicle, another individual behind the vehicle. Because especially when you're backing up, or you're backing up to an area around a parking lot that we may be working at, you need to have as many eyes looking out for you as at all possible. When fueling it, make sure just know that the fuel and the vapors are very flammable. Do not refuel the machine while you smoke. When the machine is near an open flame or spark, and when the engine is running, always stop the engine. And as most of you know, we're a smoke-free campus, so we shouldn't have that issue. Fill the tank outdoors. And to prevent fires, clean oil, grease, and dirt from the machine. Clean up the spilled fuel immediately. And do not store machine with fuel in the tank in a building where fumes may reach an open flame or spark. And our shed is very safe, and we shouldn't have any issues there. Handling the fuel safely. Prevent the fire and explosion caused by static electric discharge. Use only a non-metal portable fuel containers approved by the Underwriters Laboratory or the American Society for Testing and Materials, or ASTM. If using a funnel, make sure it's plastic and has no screen or filter. We actually fill the gator up at the maintenance shed. They actually have an outdoor refueling station, so we're not going to have to really worry about this with our gator. Static electric discharge can ignite the gasoline vapors in an ungrounded fuel container, so remove the fuel container from the bed of the vehicle or the trunk and place on the ground away from the vehicle before filling. Keep the nozzle in contact with the container opening while filling. And when practical, remove equipment from trailers or truck beds and refuel them on the ground. If this is not possible, use a portable plastic fuel container to refuel the equipment on a truck bed or trailer. So if we were to hook up our trailer and, let's say, load up the walk-behind plugger or the side cutter, and we needed to fuel up down at the tank, we would take our cans and do it on the back of the trailer, and not actually take the hose and jump up on the trailer and fuel the equipment up on the trailer. And always operate the vehicles in a safe and responsible manner. Violators of the safety rules are subject to not disciplinary action necessarily, but will definitely have their privileges of driving the gator revoked. So, like I said, this was short and sweet. Wanted to keep it that way. This is your first lecture in equipment ops and maintenance for the summer semester. Thanks, and I will see you in the next lecture.